Scoodly doodly doo, it's time for another Welch review. Scoodly doodly doo doo.
Hey, it's good to see you. Welcome to another episode of the Welch Review. Today we are talking about the film Cold Storage. And this one stars Liam Neeson as Robert Quinn. Liam Neeson has to be a name that everybody knows, but just in case you're not sure who he is, he was in the Taken movies 1, 2, and 3, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and he was in Run All Night, among many other movies. I think there's a review coming out soon on a film called In the Land of Saints and Sinners, or Sinners and Saints. It might be reversed. Also very good. But Liam Neeson's in this one. We also have Sosie Bacon, who's the daughter of Kevin Bacon, and she plays Dr. Hero Martins, and she was in Smile, the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why, and Mayor of Easttown, which if you have not seen, Mayor of Easttown is a fantastic show, and the kind of, not sequel, but in the same universe, Task is also super good. But definitely check out Mayor of Easttown if you're looking for something to stream. If your slate is open, everyone's always looking for something. It also has Joe Keery as Tea Cake. Now he just wrapped up Stranger Things, so it's nice seeing he's transitioning more into movies, but he's been doing that for a while. It seems pretty slowly. Most notably, he was in Free Guy, which was pretty big. He was also in a movie called Spree, which is really good. So which is more of like a horror movie. So you can really see his range. Which I expect big things from him, not just musically, but also in movies. Obviously, his music career is also taken off. Also in this movie, you have Leslie Manville as Trini Romano, and Leslie was in Let Him Go, which is a really good movie with Kevin Costner. It's like a Western, I don't want to say noir film, but it has like a Western element to it, and it's really good. It's really good. I feel like that flew under the radar. We'll probably have to do a review on that one. Kevin Costner, it was like when he was just at the peak of his Yellowstone fame, and he was dipping back into movies, and then a lot of Yellowstone drama seems like it erupted. But that's, I'm behind, But anyway, she was also in Phantom Thread in The Grotesquerie, which also had Travis Kelce in it for, I think, if not the whole season, but 5 episodes, which is kind of wild. You also have Georgina Campbell as Naomi, and she was in Barbarian, Black Mirror, and Psycho Killer. I just picked up a copy of Psycho Killer. I'm stoked to see it because the guy who wrote Seven, he wrote that film, and I think he's really talented. I really enjoyed The Killer. So with Michael Fassbender, so hopefully he's got more stuff coming up. Vanessa Redgrave as Mary Rooney or Rockney, and Vanessa Redgrave, man, Franco Nero's better half. I haven't seen her since Letters to Juliet, which was a fabulous movie. That's just a great feel-good film. Highly recommend. And if you're going to Verona, it's definitely something maybe to pregame and watch. Or if you're reading Romeo and Juliet, definitely check that out. She was also in Coriolanus and Atonement, but she's been a star for forever. So it's just nice seeing Vanessa Redgrave, still staying relevant, still dipping her toe in the water and doing things. And this was written by David Coep, who wrote Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, and he wrote and directed Black Bag. And what's cool is that Cold Storage is also a book that David Coep wrote, so he got to adapt his own work, which is pretty awesome. And then it was directed by Johnny Campbell, who I'm not personally familiar with, although he did direct I think is the BBC Dracula. He directed an episode or so of that, and I just like that actor's name, Klaus Bang. He sounds like a Bond villain, Who is it that is Klaus Bang? But anyway, and he did In the Flesh and some Informer. Now, Cold Storage focuses on a fungus that is rapidly invasive, or has the potential to be invasive, but when it infects people, it essentially kills them and turns them into like a mindless zombie, and ultimately it has to be contained. So they send several specialists and agents into the field to contain it, Liam Neeson being one of them. And in doing so, in containing it from its original outbreak site, most of the team dies except two. Sorry, that's definitely a spoiler. But anyway, what you need to know is they tuck it away in what's supposed to be a special, like, Black Ops site military facility, and then over time, right, it becomes like they stop paying attention to it. There are different things, different threats, and that site becomes the center of a self-storage building. And that's where we meet Joe Keery, who is just an employee in the self-storage building, and he and his new coworker, who he finds attractive, start snooping around because they hear this beeping going on in the walls. And of course that leads to our adventure and how they deal with this fungus that, if it gets out, could wreak world havoc upon the known world and be a tremendous problem. And the only person who in the government taking it seriously is Liam Neeson, who is since retired. And the alarm, that the beeping that Joe Keery and Naomi are hearing, causes one person in the military to call him and ask him about it, which triggers a domino effect of him trying to fix a problem that's just been ignored by the government in general. And I feel like that's a good place to stop, because I've already spoiled a couple things, and I don't want to spoil any more in case you want to see it. But let's start off with some positive things about, I don't know why I said positive, but let's take a look at just how they set the stage with this movie. Cold storage, it has sorry about that. It has large escalating problematic capabilities, right? But they contain it within a self-storage building, which I think is pretty cool. So it's like high concept, shot in a singular location, and I think that's really cool. That they maximize such a small space and really show little nooks and crannies you can hide in, how danger could come in from the outside or the inside. And I think they really did that very well. The idea of a fungus clearly being, the catalyst of a sort of like zombie invasion or like, takeover type thing. Clearly is a possibility, it seems, with The Last of Us being the predominant factor of what's been in the zeitgeist lately. So it's cool to see like another iteration of what that could look like. And in terms of performances, like every time you see Joe Keery, he's just an actor who you can't help but smile and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, he's in it. He brings an everyman type of charm to the roles that he's in. Liam Neeson the same way, action, drama, whatever. He just has a sort of like charisma and likability to him where you're like, yeah, I'm willing to give some of my time to see how this plays out. Leslie Manville does a really nice job in a supporting role. The time that Sosie Bacon is on screen, she does a really good job. I feel like she's starting to build a pretty solid filmography for herself, be it in larger roles like Smile or smaller roles like this. Oops, sorry. We're still getting used to it. I know we've been back for a little bit, but we're getting back into it. And then Georgina Campbell did a really good job as Naomi, as like a woman who is navigating the complexities of separating from her husband, working a job, and still trying to find like purpose and adventure. And I think that's something like everybody's trying to find out. Like, what is your purpose? Where's the adventure? And perhaps even though this is like a more of a horror comedy type film, the idea that like sometimes even in the most like unlikely of places, you have to be the one to find the adventure, find the fun. Hopefully it doesn't lead to like a killer fungus that's going to be let on the loose. But I think that type of spirit, that's important. Like you there's adventure out there. You got to find it. And again, hopefully no fungus takes over or anything of that. But anyway. Johnny Campbell, I think, did a really job directing this movie and maximizing the space, and just in general, kind of pointing the camera in the right direction. I don't necessarily think that Cold Storage breaks crazy new ground. Since kind of like zombies has been a very popular genre for movies as of late. But I do think it's just as entertaining as The Last of Us. It just has a slightly different lens to tell its story. So I think David Coep probably wrote a fantastic book, and he adapted it in a way where we probably get the best parts of that book up on screen. So if you're looking for something on a Friday night, something to watch with your friends, something to watch with your significant other, or just by yourself, you will be entertained in any of those three facets. So definitely do yourself a favor. If it's on TV or streaming, check it out. If you see it in a Walmart, for sure pick it up, because it is just a good time, and you never know. Maybe there'll be more of these down the road. I wonder if he wrote any more books. I'll have to look into that. But until next time, this has been the Welch Review. Thank you for stopping by.